So 10 months ago, one of my friends named McMagic comes up to me and says, Galavian, I am so sick of Blizzard. I am so sick of their games. I am so sick of their service. I am so sick of their practices. I am so sick of everything they do. I'm going to boycott. I'm not giving them any more money. I'm not going to sub to one of their games. I'm not going to buy any of their games. I'm done. And I say, McMagic, that's understandable. Have a nice day. A couple days ago, McMagic hits me up. He says, Galavian, I'm torn. I'm in a little bit of a predicament here. And I say, what's up? And McMagic says, well, all of the boys are getting together to play World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore. And they're leaving me out. I'm not having any of the fun. I say, well, what are you going to do? He says, I don't know. And I say, McMagic, here's the thing. Whether or not you decide to resubscribe to World of Warcraft and break your boycott, Blizzard doesn't care either way. And the reason why I know that is because of my sister. For this video, we're calling her Sophie. Me and Sophie love playing Diablo 3. We like getting on the couch, playing couch co-op, firing up the Nintendo Switch, and playing Diablo 3. She has no idea what she's doing in the game. She is a normie. She doesn't play any other video games. She just wants to spend time with me, her brother. And so I help her pick her gear. She presses buttons. Demons die. That's all she needs to know. That's all she wants to know. And so, unfortunately for me and Sophie, last summer Sophie gets married. So Sophie moves far, far away. But luckily for me and Sophie, Sophie came to visit me last weekend. And she was so happy to see me. And she said, Galavian, why don't we, fire up Diablo 3 just for old time's sake? And I say, sure, why not? And she's happy. Her eyes light up. She's excited to play Diablo 3 with me. And then suddenly she melts. Her eyes droop. Her smile goes away. I say, what's wrong? She says, Galavian, my Switch is at home, far, far away from here. And I say, Sophie, don't you have phones? Don't you have a phone, Sophie? And she said, yeah, of course. I use my phone every day. I love my phone. I'm always on Snapchat and TikTok. I love my phone. Yes, I have phones. Yes, I have a phone. Why? And I tell her, Sophie, so there's this little thing on your phone. It's called Diablo Immortal. She's so excited. Her eyes light up again. She says, what? I say, yeah, it's for free. You can get Diablo Immortal and, we could play Diablo. She says, I don't even need a console. I say, nope. She says, I don't even need to tether myself to a couch. I say, nope. She says, I don't even need to use a controller. I could just use my phone that I use every day and I know how to use really well. And I put it in my pocket. I say, yup. So here's the thing. For every one of you and I, for every McMagic there is out there are legions and legions of Sophies. You remember that one cinematic from Legion? If you played World of Warcraft back in Legion, there's that one cinematic with Varian where he emerges out of the water and he's fighting all the demons and they just keep coming and there's so many of them and it's hopeless. It's a lost cause. There's so many. They are literally legion. And there are legion and legion of players who would go ahead and download Diablo Immortal and who do that. And that is why Diablo Immortal is Blizzard's most profitable title. And so that is exactly why Blizzard has been targeting this demographic since 2010 with the casualization of World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King. Now, there is a lot of evidence to demonstrate this. For example, you have Diablo 4. If you compare Diablo 4 to its biggest competitor, Path of Exile, you will notice some interesting differences in the game design. Whereas Path of Exile is a game that has a campaign. It's a decent campaign. It's a good campaign. The game doesn't really open up to you until you hit endgame. And once you hit endgame, the game really opens up and you start having a blast in that game. If you compare that to Diablo 4, Diablo 4 is the exact opposite, where it is a universal consensus. Casual gamers, hardcore gamers, lapsed players, current players, people who like the game, and people who dislike the game all agree that the early Diablo 4 experience is a better experience than the later Diablo 4 experience. And since casual players typically don't even get to the end game, they're not going to see the cracks that start to show. They're going to play the early game experience, enjoy it, and come back for the next season. Another piece of evidence. Overwatch 2 used to be called Overwatch 1 before it was called Overwatch 2. And when Overwatch 2 was called Overwatch 1, Overwatch 1 was a pay-to-play game. You had to buy it. Now, it's free to play. Blizzard decided, why don't we make this more accessible? Why don't we make it so more people can play the game? Because if more people play the game, we get more Sophies that we could capitalize on with our battle pass and with our microtransactions. Another piece of evidence. World of Warcraft. Wait a minute. Hold on. World of Warcraft isn't free to play. It's on the same subscription model it's always been on. Why is that? Why is this an exception? The reason why World of Warcraft is an exception is because World of Warcraft is a game for very old people. The reason I know that is because I make YouTube videos on several different topics. And from all of the topics I decided to do, the demographics on my World of Warcraft videos heavily skew older than any other topic that I cover on the channel. And so when World of Warcraft is designing content for its next patch or for its next expansion, they are doing so in a way to, one, retain the current players, and two, to attract lapsed players, ex-players, people who used to play and who don't play anymore, who are older because the game is old. And that is why they bring back Chris Metzen, who is now the game director of World of Warcraft again, who is the person who birthed the World of Warcraft universe, the Warcraft universe, to go ahead and try to nostalgia bait the lapsed players again. And lapsed players are used to paying a sub fee because they used to pay a sub fee and they're not used to the game being free to play. So they're already primed to pay a sub fee, and they probably wouldn't get a battle pass anyway because older players don't like battle passes because that's not what they know. And, you know, they were never primed for it. And so while it's unlikely, it is possible that Blizzard might make World of Warcraft free to play. But as of today, maybe they're stupid enough to do it, but as of today, the game is not. That's why it's an exception. Now, one thing that I find interesting is it seems that everyone has forgotten that a year ago, Blizzard announced Warcraft Rumble. It's this new game on your phone that you could play that's just like Diablo Immortal, a game that you can just download for free and have at it. Now, Diablo Immortal is Blizzard's highest earning game. So it's no wonder they're going to try to make more mobile games. And now BlizzCon is only about a month away. And it has me wondering, are we going to hear more from Warcraft Rumble, about Warcraft Rumble? Are they going to demonstrate any new mobile games? Are they going to remind us that we have phones? So to kind of finish up this video here, the title of this video is Blizzard does not need your money to succeed. And while that is true, you don't need Blizzard to play good games.